here at Glenfair Lanes in Glendale for the title matches of today's JBT event. A couple good storylines going on here. We haven't seen Stephen Akoff on the show in a while. He's an 8-time champion. Now, this is his first scratch title match in the singles division in quite some time, might even be ever. He has run the stepladder to this point, and he's taken on top seed Kyle Duster, who destroyed the pattern today. Kyle likes long with push in the middle, and that's exactly what Route 66 is, and Duster went 411 up, but Stephen has gone through 3 tough opponents, Eric Hatchett, Matt Swig, and Cortez Schenk in the last match, and as everybody knows around here, beating Tez is a somewhat rare occurrence. Stephen started with triple and then this 9 spare, so he's all tied up as Duster went spare triple himself in his first 4 frames. On the right side of the lanes here, we have another ladder climber as Destiny Johnson has won 3 matches in a row as well, beating Ryan Zent, Tim Hill in a good match, and Justin Lawrence in an incredible match. Not that high scoring a day, 284 to 257 once you added the pins in. They're pulling by both, but it's Destiny in the title match taking on this guy again, Elijah Melkor, in one of the best handicap division runs we've ever seen. He climbed the ladder to win yesterday's title, and the last time we saw him before that on the show was in Christown in December, and he climbed that ladder. So he is looking to win his 9th consecutive stepladder finals match. We don't have any official record on that, but boy, that's not the first time that's happened in either division. It's been a while. It's even back when Dallas won his 6 in a row. A, they weren't all stepladders, and B, he was usually the top seed. So he didn't really have to do as much work here to get that done. So Elijah rapidly improving. Totally different lane pattern than yesterday. We qualified first at plus 193. So he almost had, if Tez had won that last semifinal game, a chance for both Tez and Elijah to repeat on the weekend, and I don't remember the last time that's ever happened. But unusual 4-5 in the 10th from Tez cost him a chance to go back-to-back and win his 70th title instead. It's 8-time champ Akoff versus 13-time champ Kyle Duster in another matchup of veterans over there in the scratch division. Well, he grabbed onto that ball for dear life and got a terrific break by getting the Brooklyn shot for 4 in a row. And Elijah crashes through the head pin himself and doesn't get the full break, but not too bad to only leave the 10 pin there. Yesterday we bowled on the Nationals pattern, and today we bowled on this Route 66. So even though most bowlers are playing near the same part of the lane that you might have seen on yesterday's webcast, it's for completely different reasons. Yesterday the outside was out of bounds with oil, and the shot never developed on the right. And there was really no tug to the left either, so they just had to keep migrating right, extremely far left, and try and feed the ball to where they had blown the hole out in the pattern. On Route 66, there's still a virtually limitless puddle of oil in the middle of the lanes, and they're pretty darn dry on the outside. It's not a heavy volume pattern on the outside to begin with. So the players have migrated left, and they're trying to just keep the ball in the oil as long as possible. So that dead fade two-handers are kind of comfortable doing works very, very well on this pattern, and so therefore not shocking to see them in the title match. Destiny, brilliant in the last game. Brilliant usually at Glenfair, but not on that ball. She gets a deflecto-matic there for the pocket 510. Not characteristic of how well she's been doing. Stephen with that creeping two-handed approach. Even more of a fade than Kyle's playing. After that big 4 in the 5th, he finds himself trailing by a bunch. Now that's pretty close for Destiny, but not quite close enough. So she's open after 2 spares in her first 2 frames. Elijah clean through 3. Elijah's also getting 7 pins in this match. So good start for Melchor, and Destiny's going to have to pick it up. And we know she can, because she just did in the last match. Good spare for Akoff, but it might take some X's now. Destiny, of course, part of the first father-daughter team to both win JBT titles out here in the western version of the tour. He's Pop Raymond. He was a champ a couple times over in the New Mexico-Texas conference way, way, way back when. Not too way, but way enough. Stevens just going to crouch more and more with each step. And just snap through. But not trusting the ball out. That rotation is going to bring the ball back enough, but you can't have it at the head pin by the time you let the ball go. And Elijah is just rapidly improving. We took away a lot of his handicap overnight, and we're going to take away some more of it, and he'll probably be right back here again. Nice thing about Elijah is he'll always be your friend, because, you know, sometimes, you know, I could never be friends with a Cowboy fan or a Washington Football Club fan. You ask Elijah who he likes, and his answer is everyone. I believe he owns every single team's all caps. I think he has an Everett Winterwolves IHL cap probably sitting somewhere around in the basement. And he's got a lot of strikes on the scoreboard too. There's a nice double there. Gives him a commanding lead early on. Not only is it the battle of buddies over here, but it's also the battle of the white trousers in February. What's the deal with that? I don't know. Oh, look at the giant step around the ball return. Wow. He didn't do that last time on the right-hand lane.
One of them was wearing pink and the other one's wearing blue.
I thought he was, yeah. I thought he was going to fall the way he took that step around, but I mean, there's a reason. He needed to get further left to get a little better look, even though he's on 5 in a row, because he Brooklyn the last time in that lane. The ball returns here are very long. Other places, when you stand in front of the ball return, you're going to have a good foot to 2 feet more space to stand in front of the ball return. They're long. You see the, you get a better shot of it here. See the lip of that ball return at the bottom goes out that extra little bit, and that makes standing in front of the ball return much harder. So for him to get left enough, he actually had to take his 3rd step massively to the left. And I hope he does it again in the next race. You're really going to watch that. Destiny kind of falling apart here, unfortunately, for her. She's been so great up to this point, but 7 out gives her only 70 in the 5th. She's the one giving pins. So she's going to need a much better second half of the game here if she's to pull off the ladder climb. Hard to win 4 matches in a step ladder finals. That's why it's so impressive what Elijah has done. Ironic that Elijah, to win his 9th, will have to do it against someone who has climbed the ladder to get to him. Flat 10 for Duster. The fan club loves it. The response is pure laughter from the peanut gallery. Russ is shaking off his back-to-back 6ths. Keith is taking off something this week with back-to-back finals. Amanda, your women's series runner-up today. Derek with the participation trophy today, but the very nice runner-up finish yesterday. Josh was here at 3 a.m. He's back again. I don't know why the heck he's here. He should be asleep.
I have to work at 5.
Poor Justin shot what he's got to do to win a title. Shoots 250 scratch and gets the 3rd place trophy. I don't understand that. Team Lawrence is beside themselves. They can't believe it. Team Johnson over here. Team Zent over here. Future JBT champ over there. And there we go soon. Look out for him. That's your Sunday afternoon crowd here on a long weekend at Glenfair. Thanks to Jason and the team for hosting us. Your Desert Open site this summer. Date to be determined. That's what he's been doing all day. Ow, ouch. His brother said maybe, and that did look good. Massive side roll to get that thing to eventually turn over in all that oil, and sometimes that power can be a 2-edged sword as he slams a 9-pin there. Elijah just keeps rolling along, keeping it clean. High game today of 200 even. That was his last game, so he was getting better as it goes. Destiny has bowled the high game of her life twice today. Earlier was the high game of her life, and that 240 whatever scratch was far and away the high scratch game she's ever bowled. Former champ here at Glenfair in the Desert Open, got her free brackets for a whole year. Elijah lets that one out. Oh, and that was a good shot for Powerball and at no other time.
Remember that for Powerball.
Tried to give away Powerball today. Ryan Perry got to the last shot. Zakoff gets a necessary strike, a mandatory strike even. Zakoff can strike out for 219. Duster can fill 2 frames for 227 and the win. So So 1 out of 2 marks. 2 out of 2 marks rather will lock it up. Anything else, Acuff can steal it away. Wow. Very hard to only get 1 out of that. That was much harder than making it. So 5-1 gives Johnson a glimmer of hope here. And she will have to take advantage of it right now. Kyle, after this match is over, is going to be driven by Steven immediately to Mission Bell to go clock in and work his shift with Alexis Atkin as his shift manager. So keeping it in the family there. Look at that step and loft. Oh, yeah! We have a new GIF for Kyle Dester's homepage. This camera, this footage will be edited heavily by Dester himself and will be GIFed all over the place. And that's an excellent skill. If you're going to go two-hander, you have to be able to do that to compete at a high level. And that was a great shot. Remember yesterday, Tez was playing both lanes as if there was a ball return on both lanes. Kyle is doing the opposite strategy, where he's standing in a more conventional place on the lane where he doesn't have the obstacle, and it's either school of thought works. Here it's what you're used to doing 99% of the time, but you're doing the opposite thing every other frame. Obviously it's worked well, and he needs a mark to lap up the title. And that'll do it. Took over the lead in game 3 and never looked back from there. Game 2, I beg your pardon, and never looked back from there. He's nice when the top seed by such a commanding margin finishes it off with the title. Elijah was top seed by less than a commanding seed, but it looks like both top seeds are going to come away with the win today. So Elijah in awful good shape to again win 9 consecutive stepladder matches. And when you remember, when you play the stepladder, you're bowling against the other bowlers who've done well that day. So it's not just, you know, picking 4 random people. You're picking the 5 best people on the day. Really won this one just by staying out of trouble. Had that one really bad frame in the last frame. Other than that, it's been 8-9 spare and strike. Dester finishes with the triple. Will he loft the left-hand cap just for the heck of it? Let's find out. Believe he might. So that's 14 career wins, building himself an excellent second half of his JBT career. El Lofto is back. 245. Command performance from Kyle Dester. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I lost the line. Nope. She lost her call. Well, Destiny, don't feel bad. Whoops, his heel returned the El Lofto favor. That was a bowling ball at the top of the shot there. Not so much for Acuff. Great run though, beat 3 toughies to get here. His high scratch finish in a century or 2. So, yeah. Bell Warner, your women's series winner today, by the way. First time Rachel Berg hasn't won wearing the E shirt. Shake it off, Rachel. Should have brought me donuts, Rachel. Julie brought me coffee. Glenfair brought me donuts. Well, Steven, you've got one more shot on camera.
Take my moment of fame.
For the 199. Destiny can get 178, which would force Elijah to get 171. So we're still not over here. I should not call this one by any means. But yet another nice spare is just about going to do it. Acuff finishes up more conventionally. Nope, that wasn't it either. No one was touching Kyle Dester today. 14 times JBT champ. Nice sportsmanship at the end. The Battle of the White Trousers, February edition. The Battle of the White Trousered two-handed bowlers who are former one-handed bowlers. All of the above goes to Dester. Destiny was so happy with her last game, she literally took a selfie twice. And she's going to wipe this one off the memory card. But hey, her highest finish in a little while. More points, more money, more plaques, more invitationals, and more sorrow right now as the wheels have come off for Johnson, and the Elijah Express Both of these folks have 3 career titles for the next 45 seconds. And it'll be Elijah with 4, Destiny still with 3, so fine JBT careers for each one. Oh, and a stone 7 to finish us off. Justin has got to be back here going, I can't believe she pulled a 1 right now. That's alright. Happens all the time. It's amazing how quickly the looks can go away. Absolutely zero to be ashamed of at all, though. Ryan Zent made his 3rd consecutive finals. The first person to lose to Destiny tonight, Tim Hill from SoCal, made the Arizona invite. The 4th place finish, and then, of course, we talked about the rest. Well, it's a disappointing 140 whatever for Destiny. Appreciative round of applause from a lot of people sticking around on a Sunday. We appreciate that. But this guy is on some kind of roll. Well, I bet you you'll see him out there practicing tomorrow, practicing the next day.
He actually has league tomorrow.
League tomorrow, yes. Speaking of, so what was your number of their league bowlers?
We had 3 top 5s on Saturday and 4 top 5s on Sunday.
Out of just 1 league. Well, give a shout out to your league.
Big Dogs in AFMF Peoria.
Yeah, buddy. The Big Dogs are just that, obviously.
Also a sports shot league. Also ran like the JBT.
It helps so much to bowl in the sport all the time. Temporarily frustrating when, you know, you're shooting 420 for 3 and all your buddies are shooting 803 every night, but boy does it pay dividends at the bigger, more important stuff down the road. Well, definitely the best thing to happen to a Giants cap this season. I just pick on the entire NFC East all the time, don't I? It's February and I'm still picking on football teams. Ain't picking on this guy. There, finally, he lets loose with a little emotion there, as he did it again. It's all Elijah, all the time on this tour. Great stuff out of all our finalists. We'll do it again in Los Angeles in 5.5 days. He'll be there, or will he? Don't let it scare you either way. We'll see you next time.